Welcome to the Union Labor Advisory Network podcast, where our mission is to support, educate, and promote informative content relative to the union labor community. For more information, a calendar of events, and union news and updates, you can visit our website, ulanetwork.com, and follow us on all social media platforms by searching ULA Network and/or the Union Labor Advisory Network. And now, on to the show.
Hello friends and welcome to the Union Labor Advisor Network. I'm Mike Fina. I'm extremely excited to have Michael Bourgal from Teamsters Local 282 with us today, who is also a business agent and trustee for the funds, as well as working with the Long Island Federation of Labor and the Nassau-Suffolk Building Trades, to sit down with us today to learn a little bit more about his job and career, as well as what he's doing for labor in our communities. Mike, thank you very much for sitting down with me today.
No problem.
Learn a little bit more about you and your role. Could you tell us about your history and your position within the Teamsters?
I'm a Teamster member 33 years this year.
Okay.
Started at the bottom, working for a sheet metal shop.
Okay.
And, worked up. My father was a Teamster, so I got very involved, very young. And eventually became a business agent. And business agents in our organization wear a lot of hats, representing the members, negotiating contracts, organizing, a lot of public outreach, doing things for the public, and then became a trustee of the funds and a trustee of the union. One of the guys makes decisions on the money and changing the benefits and long-term investments for the men for their pension, annuity and welfare benefits, all medical benefits.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been a trustee on the funds?
On the funds, approximately about 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, one of the guys retired and spot opened up and moved up.
And I know you mentioned you're a Teamster, but what local do you represent?
Local 282.
282. We got to make sure everybody knows. 282.
Very proud.
Mike,
very proud.
Very proud.
Yeah.
And how many members are represented on the Teamsters Local 282?
Approximately 4,000, primarily in construction. Your guys delivering concrete, working in the streets, utilities. I just came out of a meeting talking about decarbonization for New York State. Very frustrating. A lot of our members could lose employment. It's the right thing to do for the environment, but I think some of these things need to be thought out for the future. You can't just say, we want to go carbon-free, no gas, and no real way to do it to save money and keep people employed.
Yeah, and employment's a big piece as well.
Big piece.
Yeah. So as in your role, and obviously it plays a political role as well in regards to jobs and employment.
Yeah.
It's vital to have you on as a trustee, and again, you work with the Long Island Federation of Labor as well.
Yeah, I'm a Long Island Fed. I'm a board member on the Fed now, a little less than a year. And Secretary Treasurer of the Nassau-Suffolk Building Trades.
That's great.
So, member of the Building Trades.
And we ask a lot of people too. So, what's the what do you enjoy about your career over the past 30 plus years as a Teamster, and now in your existing role, I guess, supporting your members?
It's interesting that you ask. I mean, it took me a while. It's a very challenging job. Very easily to get frustrated because constantly dealing with problems. Members not getting paid right, contractors going out of business, non-union. So I found myself very frustrated, and I think it just realization one day when I was in the field, you saw a building go up. You were part of something. And I think as a union rep, you're constantly dealt with just problem after problem after problem. So I guess there was no sense of accomplishment. And I think the biggest thing that dawned on me was a sense of accomplishment is putting someone to work. Right. And somebody to get a piece of what I've been so fortunate to have, good wages, pay for your family, pay for your hobbies, pay for your vacations, and not only that, but the benefits. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we face today with the younger generation that maybe don't have a second or a third generation union family, they don't put enough value on what the benefits cost and how the benefits work and the pension. Pensions are pretty much extinct in the private sector. But the value, I mean, you see it, I think when you get sick or a family member unfortunately gets sick, the value of those medical benefits and also the pension. I don't think you really appreciate the pension until you're one of the guys collecting that pension. Mm-hmm. And, I have friends, that I consider like uncles that get that pension. And, I see them and they say, we need to make a shirt, God bless Local 282. Right. Because they're retired 5, 10, 15 years. I mean, the one gentleman that comes to mind, he's like an uncle to me, Richie Kroller, his name is, and he had 3 heart attacks, and those medical benefits got him through those challenging times, and was able to come back to work, and now he's able to raise his children and sees his grandchildren every day, and he gets that pension check every month.
The ULA Network would like to thank our sponsor, Teamsters Local 282, for their support in helping to educate and promote union labor in our communities.
It's great, and that's the rewarding thing that, as a trustee sitting on those funds, managing
Absolutely.
Those benefits,
Absolutely,
creating opportunities for those members is rewarding. And as a service provider and vendor working in collaboration with some of the funds, that is something that I feel accomplished working in conjunction with the funds to find out better ways to support those members. And what you guys are doing is incredible. I'm proud to support Teamsters as well as Local 282. It's like family to me. Yeah. And again, any closing remarks or things that you'd like to leave, or is there's anything that's going on with Teamsters 282, how we could maybe support events that are coming up in the future, ways to bring awareness to opportunities within the Teamster organizations as well?
Yeah, we don't have any events coming up. I mean, we do a scholarship fund for our members. That's a great thing that our president, Tommy Gesualdi, had started. Fortunately, with the generosity from vendors and other unions, we were able to start that scholarship fund. I believe it's 10 years ago now at $4,000 per child. We don't pick the winners. I don't even see the applicants. It goes directly to an outside vendor. They pick the winners, and we've been able to, again, through generosity from vendors and other unions and ourselves, funding it, increase that now from $4,000 to, I think this year we gave out 22 scholarships, $7,000 a piece.
Wow, that's incredible.
So I think it's a great thing that we do, not only to help our members' families, but also educate the younger generation of the value of the union and the things that the union does for their family with medical benefits and pension. I know that I have 2 teenage children, and I've tried to instill with them people deserve a working living wage, and some of these things that we have are from the union contract.
Yep. And for me, again, I mentioned I'm proud to support labor. I look at my personal role as a Rotarian charitable organization, and then all the charitable work that labor does within their union organizations, like your scholarship fund, is so notable, and it's something to recognize and celebrate, because within your circle or your bubble of vendors and maybe some other locals, they may not know about what it is that you're doing. And if there's a ways that we could support, promote, and educate communities about all the charitable work that Teamsters Local 282 does, there may be more opportunities for sponsors and working to help support those scholarships that you guys are putting together. So I'm happy to work and support you in any which way I can. Again, I'm grateful for you to get you sit down and learn a little bit more about Mike today.
Thanks for asking. I'm a little camera shy, but it's not about me. It's about the greater good.
That's right. That's right. And again, thank you for everything that you do, and I'm proud to support you, Mike. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Union Labor Advisory Network. To stay in the loop, we ask that you please visit our website, ulanetwork.com, and sign up for our newsletter, where we're sending updates relative to the union labor community directly to your inbox. Thank you for supporting labor, and we'll see you next time.